We actually are live. That didn't even work.
No, where's our intro?
I should have thought about this before I got into this stupid position.
Oh shit, I've made a mistake already.
It's not live.
Oh my god, no, we are live, but Richard, you're
shit.
now Dan Railton.
I
Dan
am
Railton. Dan, you're now Mr. Ho.
Hey guys, my name's Dan Railton. Above me we got Dan.
Alright, I'm gonna pull it down one sec. The audio will still be
Hi,
on.
my name's
Oh, I can't
Mr.
even
Ho.
pull it down. Oh, this is a sham. Oh no, we're gonna get kicked off the air. We're gonna lose our slot. We're gonna lose our funding.
We have funding?
Dan, you're flying.
I'm flying.
Down there. Yeah, you were flying. Richard, you're now. Dan was. Let's see. Okay. Whack you
This
there.
is very bad quality.
This is really unprofessional. Dan over there.
I know.
You're just flying.
No, Dan.
Right, now we're good.
Are we good?
Welcome to the third week. Third week?
Do
Yeah,
you
it's
have
the
to say
third
that
week,
one?
isn't it? Yeah, third week.
Yes,
third
the
week
third
in a
week,
row.
third episode.
Congratulations, guys. We've done it 3 weeks in a row. No,
Well,
we made the same joke last week. Yeah, welcome
well,
to the third.
technically, it wasn't. It hasn't.
will be
Our
the
second
same.
episode was last Saturday.
No, well, a week and a bit.
Oh, weekend of Saturday. Oh,
Not much.
shit,
Not
yeah.
much has happened this week, so we haven't. We were gonna do it on Saturday, but not much has happened. So we're just gonna talk a little bit about Konami again, more Konami talk, and the Oculus, and then we're gonna do a big segment for our second segment, which is usually news. So should be good. What have you been up to? What have we been playing this week?
I've been doing loads of work, so I had a little bash.
So
on
you're
that
gonna say
unfinished
with
one
me?
today.
On the unfinished
I've
one.
been doing loads
It's
of-
good, isn't it? It's really good.
Yeah, it's weird. I just did like the first chapter and then I had to go out.
Like I said, like I was gonna buy that game so long ago when it first got announced for PS3, and it was one of them games that I never ended up getting around to buying, and I'm just so glad that it was free on the PlayStation Plus. So if you're watching this and you haven't downloaded it, go and download Unfinished Swan.
Is it on now?
Yeah.
I haven't been on the
Free
PlayStation on ages.
The Unfinished One. There's also another game called Ether One or Ether One, which is sort of like a first-person exploration game, which is really like it's such a mindfuck. Like, I don't think it's giving it away really if I say it, 'cause it's only the intro. But like basically, from what I've gathered, you work for a company that delves kind of like Inception, like goes inside people's brains and like tries to rebuild the memories and stuff based on like things like what they've heard, what they've smelt, stuff like that. So like cues that usually like allow you to remember stuff, because like when you remember something, you're just recalling it, right? You're recalling it from the stimuli, which is either smell, touch, hear, whatever. So there's
What
the
was that?
senses. Do I have to repeat myself?
No, like. Never mind then. Go on. I
Yeah.
heard it.
So you play as this guy who gets shrunken down, I think, to like a small size inside this capsule, and inside the capsule is kind of like your workstation. So everything inside the work capsule stays the same, but you can then jump into the patient's mind and like walk around and explore like this sort of seaside city, and you can pick stuff up. So like you can walk up to anything. So there's like a cup, and you can like investigate it, kind of like the order. You look around it and stuff, and say there's like a password for something on the bottom of the cup. Rather than just putting it in your inventory, like in a backpack or something, you take it back. So you press like triangle, and it takes you back into the pod, like your workstation, and you can store it on a shelf for later. So like you might need the cup now, but then later on you might need, so you can jump back and see what you've collected inside your little pod, and like kind of work out like that. It's quite good. It gives me a bit of a headache, like, but because it starts off really
I like headachy games.
yeah, it starts off like very, I wouldn't say handholdy, but very just like, here's the world, go and explore, and you end up just bringing back loads of fucking shit into like into your workstation, storing it on shelves, like stuff that you don't even need. And but I'm pretty,
Just
pretty
so
I'm,
it
stu- I'm
clutters,
stuck on it. Yeah. There's actually a trophy for filling all the shelves in the pod.
Oh,
But,
so it's not like unlimited space.
No, you have
So
4 shelves.
is it like
Platinum.
Yeah, there's a platinum for it.
so it's like you can pick up anything or like
Well, within it's like any object that's
So,
like an
but
object. You
I'm
can't
saying, like,
fucking pick up like a
if you
boat.
like all the pickable items in the game,
You can take
can
them
you
back
pick them
to-
all up and that will fill all the shelves. Or like
Oh
there's
no,
like
no, there's
say, like-
much more. There's much more objects
so there's
inside
like
the world.
1,000 objects you could pick up, but you can only store 200.
There's
so,
4 shelves each.
4 shells.
There's 4 shelves. The shelves have 3 like shelves in them. So
Yeah.
it's 30 items per shelf. So 30 times 4,
Oh.
what? 120
120.
items you can hold. But that includes
That
that includes your collectibles, like all your
Mm.
Easter eggs. You've got there's a trophy for collecting all the Easter eggs, and they've got to be stored on the shelf. So you've got to like break room, and you don't
Is there
know
like
you don't know what items will be
what
important
needs-
later on in the game. So you just have to. I'm just such a hoarder anyway, so I just
sounds
pick shit up and just like take it back. But it's a good game. I've also been.
Is there
playing
like a trophy for picking up every item,
No.
like in the game?
You,
There should
lad,
be.
You need to play it. It's like Fallout in the sense that there's like cutlery on the table.
Oh,
You can
okay.
pick up anything
Okay.
sort of thing. So, but yeah, I've been playing that. Demon Souls. Started it on Monday. Beat it on Tuesday. Like the weirdest. Like so. I don't know whether it's just me. We've been talking about this all week, but whether it is actually really easy or whether it's just because I played Dark Souls and I really enjoy Dark Souls so much. But Demon Souls, it was good. It was good. It had much of a more.
What's the story
The
like?
story was more prevalent, I'd say, than Dark Souls. Is that the right word? Prevalent? Like, it was easier to.
I don't know. You guys are the English
Not
one.
easier to. Not easier to follow, just more like, because Dark Souls is really about story. Really, is it's about the combat. The combat, really.
There's always
There's
story.
lore. There's lore, but
There's always law.
yeah, the story was much more apparent in Demon Souls, I'd say.
Was it?
But yeah, other than Demon Souls, I've just been playing the PlayStation Plus games. Race the Sun's a nice little arcade game. Eats time.
Even.
Yeah. What have you been playing?
Oh, cool.
You've been playing a lot of
Yeah.
Dark Souls too, right? Towards the start of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, we're
Dark
getting
Souls.
onto this now. Yeah. I've got a dodgy copy. You
Should
see.
be noted that Dan's playing on the PS3 and he's got like the dodgiest copy of Dark Souls 2. Like it just freezes all the time.
He's got the
Well, right.
unlicensed version.
Yeah.
I went. It's black.
It's actually,
I went to have a go actually. I was gonna get off at midnight and go to bed standard, but it's temperamental where it'll sometimes not cock up and I can have a decent session on it. And this was one of those nights where it was working okay. So I think I ended up getting off about 6 a.m. because I just had to make the most of
yeah,
it.
make the most of it.
Sure thing, like
was so
sure
funny.
enough, next day, same thing again. Crashed on me. Crashed since actually. Keeps crashing, but
That's heavy.
nothing new there. It's taking me far longer than it should be to beat it.
It sounds like a long game. I'm gonna pick up Scholar of the Second Sin soon. But I've got Final Fantasy X coming on Friday.
I just wish I'd bought that.
Mm.
Is it out yet? That's what I was going to watch.
It's out in America
Or do I have to
today.
do it?
It's out on
Right.
Friday for the UK, but I still think they have things left.
Check
They still have
the
pre-orders.
copies.
Yeah, I think if you pre-order, you get like a free upgrade. I'll check now. You get like a free upgrade to the limited edition. That's why I haven't cancelled it because I'm actually really skimp, but I don't want to cancel it and miss out on the.
How much is it?
Well,
Because I really want.
it's
I
like
watched the trailer
14
for it today,
I'll
and
have to
I
check
really
now.
want.
I mean, it is
You
good.
want me to
Also,
I can-
one thing that they've
I'm a bit
changed,
skint, but
which I
I'll
didn't
splash
I
out
didn't
for
know.
it.
Oh no,
Splash
you don't get the limited edition free anymore.
£40 splashing out
Did
for me.
No, you can't get the limited edition is now £60. Standard edition is 35.
What you get in this limited edition?
Steelbook case. I think you get like a calendar, but like once the month's up on the calendar, rather than it becoming useless, like it's got perforated edges, so you rip it up and it becomes arc cards. So at the end of the year, rather than just like having a shitty little calendar that isn't in date, you can rip the
You can
thing
actually
off
got them.
and it turns into
have
arc cards.
posters.
But we were watching the stream the other day. Me and Richard, remember? We were watching the stream of them. Like he was beating all the Dark Aeons.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And,
I remember
And
them
it-
going up.
it was-
I didn't watch it though.
It was just so funny. We were just watching it, like, and then we were like, you know what? Should we just start spamming questions? So like, so I was like, follow my lead. I'm putting all caps. Where the fuck is the FF7 remaster? Highlighted it, copy it, and we were just copy and pasting it for ages, like
Copy
that.
and paste it after
And
time.
then, and then he was like,
Quality.
she finally saw my question and she was like, "Oh, we have no control. We're just like the marketing team.
Yeah,
We
it's
can't
not
we
to
can't
do with
promise
me."
anything." So I think so. I was like, You know, I have another question. Does the trophy list share with the PS3 trophy list, or is there a separate trophy list? I like copied and pasted it. Me and Richard were just like proper spamming it, and then everyone was joining in, going, "Please answer the trophy questions." She was like, "Paul Turner 94 asks about the trophy." Like, just in all caps, like the whole chat room full of us. It was just, it was so funny. And then we got into an argument about how Tidus' name is pronounced. Like I've always called it Tidus. And I know, like, it was confirmed on Dissidia as Tidus, but it doesn't sound right.
But they made a good point, didn't they?
Yeah, but they were like, they were like, well, it's not called Tifa in like Final Fantasy VII. It's Tifa. Yeah. I was like, fair enough, but the guy was like, he was like, to settle the argument, he was like, I feel if you played the game before it was confirmed, then you get to call it whatever the fuck you want. So everyone was just like putting like random pronunciations in the chat. It was just the biggest, like, they thought they were marketing for like Final Fantasy X, but it was just all people just like fucking taking the piss out of them. It was
well, we got someone on the chat.
Have we? Reaper Omega says hi. Hi, Reaper Omega. If you want to ask us a question, feel free to ask us a question, and you know, we'll answer.
For the rest of the viewers, if you have any questions,
any questions, just lob them in the chat, guys, and we'll do our best to answer them. Considering it's not too personal, like. Well.
I remember the hype towards Final Fantasy X and like reading PlayStation 2 magazines and that. And for the whole time until it was released, I called him Tidus, and me and
because it seems like it'd just be called Tidus, wouldn't it? Like
Tidus.
Yeah, and but when the game came out, they obviously called him Tidus, and like if you. I don't know if you had to get a specific version and stuff, but you know, you got the 2 discs and you got the DVD of the making of or whatever, and they called him Tidus and that. So from there,
so the guy from Square Enix didn't even know that. Like the guy from Square Enix was like, "Oh, guys, it was confirmed in Dissidia," like, and he didn't even know. Like, it was so funny. Noobs.
Nah,
that woman. Oh my god, that woman. Yeah, the woman who was like co-hosting it with him was like such a fucking rookie. Like, it was so funny because she was sat there like obviously just answering. It was his save file, so he was like fighting all the Dark Aeons and whatever, and she was sat next to him like reading the chat and relaying the questions to him, and someone was like, "Oh, what was your first Final Fantasy game?" And she was like, "Oh, so and so has a question for you." He asks, "What was your first Final Fantasy game?" And then she turns to him and goes, "It would be number 1, right?" And he just goes, "Nah, it was actually number 6. Like, not everyone started on 1." Like, there was a big, and she was just like, "Oh, okay, next question." Like, it was just so embarrassing. Like, it was hilarious. And then I asked her what her favorite Square Enix game was, like, just to try and catch her out, and she didn't even answer the question. Like, she just asked him, and he was like, "Oh, Final Fantasy 6."
She sent it off to the dudes.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. She should probably just be like, "Oh well, of course the Final Fantasy X/10-2 HD remaster for PS4."
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
you know,
roll out
first your marketing. Yeah,
roll out there.
I truly think it's like a whole new game.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah, but she was such a rookie. But it was funny to watch. Like, he fucked up Dark Valfor. Like, I remember missing out. Like, when I got it on the PS3.
Not like the easiest one. So.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get all the what are they called? It's not Besed. Where is it? The Albed. The Albed dictionary things. Yeah. So I missed one that's in Besed, and if you go past it, if you get to the point where you get the airship without getting it, then you have to fight Dark Valfor to get in, and apparently it's like one of the hardest ones. But he fucking smashed it like properly. Well, impressive.
Sick.
But he's completely maxed out.
Yeah, wasn't he like?
Yeah, he completely maxed out the sphere grid, like over 300 hours on his thing, like. But fuck. Yeah.
I don't know.
But the thing is, once you get so high on Final Fantasy and that you're doing like 999 every time, like, there's not much strategy really. Is there? Just like, okay, just spam attack really and then heal. But excuse me. So should we move on to what do you want to talk about first? Konami or the Oculus? Should we get Konami out the way?
Konami.
Yeah.
So
Konami.
So last week.
Konami.
It's a kawaii. It's a kawaii.
Do you think they just like come out and issue like a press statement at this point and just be like, "Listen, this is what's going on," because so much shit's going on. It's just they're just literally digging a hole. Like, so last week someone.
It's a conspiracy. I'm telling you.
It is. It's turned into a proper modern day conspiracy, and I'm not sure if it's a PR stunt or whether they're actually in shit. But basically, someone who obviously knew some of the employees who worked there, put together a little documentary last week. I didn't actually see it. I missed it before it was pulled down. I just saw a few YouTubers talking about it and read a few articles about it. But apparently someone had went on and made a very journalistic documentary about Konami and what's going on with Kojima and everything. And they had some anonymous workers there who still work there now, just came on anonymously and sort of gave their 2 pence. And apparently they were saying stuff like Konami's been, I've got a quote here, it was like they're exerting them to slave-like conditions, like sweatshop conditions. And I was like, what? Like, it's 2015, like that sounds like something from the 80s, like that you wouldn't get now. It's just crazy. They were saying the Konami's gonna run MGS into the ground and stuff like that, and it's just gonna get fucked up. And as a fan, like, I'm like the biggest, MGS is probably my favorite game series of all time. I'm just so numb on the situation. Like, I just don't know how to feel. Like we were saying last week, we're just waiting on E3 to like
To
confirm what's going on, and even then it mightn't even confirm anything.
I don't know. I don't really have much input on this, to be honest. Like, I'm not a big Metal Gear Solid fan or Kojima fan.
Kojima.
Or Konami. Kojima.
Well,
There's an 18+ rate.
Kojima.
Kojima. He showed his vagina too. Sorry. Do
I'm
apologize.
gonna punch you with a Kojima.
That's this Kojima.
Jesus.
No, I'm not a big
like,
Metal Gear Solid fan.
But it's not even. Metal Gear Solid's irrelevant. Like,
Or like of the whole
just the fact that
games.
I haven't got a clue.
this shouldn't be happening. Like,
I really wish I could provide information and say everything's gonna be okay.
I know. Well,
I haven't got a clue. No
It'll
one
come
does.
down from the heavens and stroke your head, and it'd be.
if Konami's in the stream, just tell us what's going on, lad. Just tell us what's going on.
Got a shout out to
Kojami. No, we
Go
just
back
need.
to Shadow of Memories. Make
All
a
we
new one.
all we need is just like one spokesperson to come out and just be like, listen, this is what's going on, because it's just gonna get twisted and fucking come E3, it's just gonna be a big mess that they're gonna have to mop up eventually. Like, it's as if they're just like sitting back and thinking, let's just not move. Everyone will just forget about what's
You
happened.
won't see
But
us.
no one's gonna forget about this. It's like the biggest thing that's happened in regarding a company, and like Silent Hill's being pulled and stuff. Like, people are fuming. Like,
Rip.
people are fuming.
I was fuming.
Well, it's
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like. No.
Actually, I didn't even fume. I was just really sad.
yeah. Like I said, I'm just really numb. Like, I just don't know
So normal.
what. I don't know what to think, but I still believe in Kojima. I still believe he can bring something around.
Well, like I believe that Konami.
If there's one person that could pull this shit off, it's Kojima. Like, they're just doing it for like the laugh, like, you know what I mean? Just because he's such a crafty bastard. Like, he loves that sort of shit.
It's all his own secret,
Like, I'm still convinced that Hater's gonna make an appearance in number 5. I think Richard Hater's like the voice of Snake or anyone who doesn't know who David Hater is. He's the voice of Solid Snake and Big Boss.
So
Metal
Solid
Gear
Snake
1 through.
Is he the? He's the bad guy, right?
Yeah, up until Ground Zeroes, Keith Sutherland took over. But the way that it works is the Phantom Pain is kind of like the connecting bridge without any spoilers. Yeah, Phantom Pain is the connecting bridge to Metal Gear, which is the very first game. Like, not Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear on the what's it? What consoles in it? It's on the NES, but that was like the reboot, like the original one. The MSX too, of course. Yeah, the Japanese console. And the way that starts is Solid Snake talking to Big Boss. So I've got the conspiracy theory that the end of Phantom Pain is going to be where Big Boss meets Solid Snake, and Solid Snake is going to come out as Hater, which is going to leave so many people like fucking pissed off, because the whole game you're playing as Keith Sutherland, and in the very end it's going to be like, miss me, huh? Or is it, what's the quote? Fucking kept you waiting, huh? Like, Hater at the end, and it's just going to come up with like the little like David Hater under the voice acting thing. But I don't know, like, it makes me sad. But again, we're just waiting for E3. It's not that long, actually. It's less than a month away. I'm excited.
okay.
Should we do like we
Uh,
could do like a
A
podcast,
live
like
Forward to.
E3.
like an E3 reaction
Well,
straight away?
I was speaking to Meg before. I was saying I might have because when is it? What
The
do you know?
6th of June.
Again,
that
I know, I
weekend.
see this all the time. 6th of
It's
June.
usually the 6th of June weekend, yeah. Just before download. Yeah, I'll double
Oh,
check
right,
and
okay.
go.
My mum, right. Well, I'll be back in Liverpool.
back in
My mum and dad
Liverpool.
might let me have people over.
Oh, no,
Um,
actually, it's June 16th.
16th.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Are we
16th and
download?
18th. I thought it was the 6th. God, I hope not.
Guys, I'll be streaming
Aw.
on the 16th of June by myself.
Richard will be hosting that weekend.
Mr. Ho
We
by
should do,
himself.
like
of course.
reaction.
Oh.
If we're free, we should do reaction. Like
Yeah.
because
Definitely.
if something I find exciting comes on, I
You should
Oh
do
no,
it
I
we,
got
live
we
told
on
just
about it.
we,
My
we're
dad
just
talked last time.
we're just in home, just in
Home?
home. We're just home in time for it. We get back on the 15th, so that'll be a nice little
Sweet.
recoup as well after download because I have that week booked off. That'll be good.
That's good. That's good.
We could do
Well,
a
those-
physical. We could do a physical.
on.
If you're back home, then we could do a physical podcast that week. The very first one.
Physical.
Yeah.
We could get
Well, yeah, cool.
gather around.
I'll be home first week of June, and then download, and then I'll be there until 1st of July.
Sweet, plenty of content coming from there then. But yeah, let's.
But
move
then
on.
I'll be back again.
Yeah, we'll do a reaction
mid-June.
straight after E3. Well,
July.
saying that, we've got the press conference. Also, how did they forget to put this on the
Mhm.
list? Did you see the Fallout 4 leak?
Fallout 4 leak.
No. Basically,
No.
there's a guy who
I've
worked
never even played Fallout. So
for what's the guy's name who did Silent Hills? Guillermo del Toro. The guy, he's a
Okay.
famous movie director,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
of course. He
actually,
did you read it? Like one of the people who work on his team
I think
have
okay.
listed basically LinkedIn. For anyone who doesn't know, is like an online CV. It's kind of like Facebook with a CV.
Right.
And someone who worked for Del Toro's development company, development company, basically listed that they've worked on the Fallout 4 trailer on the LinkedIn profile, and like everyone was like, "What the fuck? How did like this
Well,
happen?
Hmm.
Like how does that slip out? Like what's going on?
Mhm.
Like everything's just going crazy. It's like that guy. Did you see the guy who accidentally leaked the Tony Hawk's thing? Like it's so upsetting.
I've heard about it.
It's like basically there was a caterer who was like catering for the event for like the Tony Hawk's press conference event or whatever, and basically he'd done like all this big spread on like a half pipe. So like the poor guy like was just taking like an Instagram photo just to show like his work off, like, oh, just did
Yeah.
this. He didn't even realise. In the background was a giant Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 banner. And he just like basically leaked the game to everyone on his Instagram, and everyone obviously took it, but you can just imagine the email coming from like the head office like, you better take that fucking
Ugh.
picture down right now. Like it's so sad because the guy was like a little caterer just like trying to like improve his business. Oh, it was just so sad. But yeah,
Heavy.
Bethesda have got a press conference at E3 this
Mhm.
year as well, so that should be pretty good because it's the
That'd be
three
good to
it's the 3 days, the 2
I'm
days.
so elitist. I
It's
normally
only- it's
watch
only
like
the-
Square Enix.
Yeah, it's only the first.
And
The
Super
first day's
Bowl.
got the press conferences, which is what day did we say? The 16th. So we got the 16th.
Right.
That's got all the press conferences. Then Nintendo's is on the 17th, I assume, and then the rest of the week's dedicated to the floor. But I think Nintendo can be touched up. Like, do you think Nintendo are gonna actually unveil anything mind blowing, or do you think it's just gonna be an
No.
amiibo apology?
I think,
What?
yeah. I think they'll say Star Fox. The new Star Fox isn't out yet, is it?
No, there'll be an update on that definitely.
I think
Since he said it was coming.
Maybe a
this year.
trailer.
Yeah,
there'll be
actually, we
that,
haven't had the
and
trailer yet.
then there'll be a.
Reaper.
I'm hoping that they're gonna give us at least a reason as to like tell us or hint towards what the reason is that they've come across to make Legend of Zelda
Hmm.
even better, and that's why they've pushed
Yeah,
it.
provide us with an actual
Back
update. Yeah, Reaper
Yeah, yeah.
Omega.
Or at least hint us
asks,
towards
oh,
it.
is he asking a question?
It's not a question. It's like he's just hoping he hopes that Fallout 4 will improve on the mistakes of New Vegas.
Yeah. See, I can't sympathize with this because I actually enjoyed I'm like the one person who enjoyed New Vegas. Like, like Richard, you lent me Fallout 3 in
I gave you
2009, right?
Fallout 3.
And
Yeah,
you
yeah.
also lent me Prince of Persia and BioShock as well. Like I
yeah.
remember lending them off you.
That was years.
That was years ago, like 2008,
Dead
2009,
days.
something like that. Yeah.
PS.
And I remember putting Fallout 3 and thinking, no, this is a bit.
You didn't
boring.
like Fallout 3? Or was it,
Didn't initially like
was it Elder Scrolls? Was it?
No, it was.
Wasn't it Elder Scrolls?
No, because I played Oblivion and I was like, okay, I'll try Fallout. I've heard it's like Oblivion.
Oh,
sort of
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
but only
And then
in
you said,
modern times.
like,
I was like,
oh.
I can't be asked with this. And I played Prince of Persia. Loved Prince of Persia. I thought it was really good. Then played BioShock. Loved BioShock. And I was like, oh, I've got this game here. Didn't platinum Prince of Persia actually. Didn't platinum BioShock. And I was like, all right, I've got to give these back to Richard soon. Might as well try and beat Fallout 2. Needless
Fallout
to say,
3.
Fallout 3 is like one of my favorite games of all time now. But yeah,
Because like there wasn't there like a part where like, oh, you can't, like, oh, I hate walking everywhere. It's like,
Yeah.
you can fast travel. It's just like click on the map and like, what?
yeah, literally, I was like, oh, you know what? I can't get into Fallout. Like, fucking walking for hours. Like, it sent me on a quest miles away. It's like, dude, you can fast travel. I was like, what? And then I fell in love with the game.
Yeah, just go on your map and then. Yeah.
But, yeah.
I wouldn't mind. Like Fallout is kind of like a game that like you can't go back into every now and again.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's.
I enjoyed the DLC. Like, I lent her a few, platinumed it, and then that.
Not the DLC.
No, I lent the base game off you, and then platinumed
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So I'd done pretty much everything bar like a few odd side quests, and I got for that Christmas. I actually got the Game of the Year edition just to play the DLC. So, and I've still got it right.
I enjoyed it until I tried to go into the strip and fell through the world every time after loading screen.
Yeah.
I was level 20, so pissed, loved the game, but I tried so hard.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I
you
agree
got,
with
like-
I agree with you, Reaper. Like, unless you got like the no clipping edition from GameStop.
Yeah, no clipping
No,
edition.
I agree. Like, cause they're such like colossal games, though. Like, you can't blame them for having a few bugs. Like, I know my Fallout 3, when I was playing one of the DLCs, cause the file size was so big, like it got to a point where I was getting like a frame a second and like couldn't move or anything like that. And like, I don't blame them for having such a big game, but yeah.
That's the
Hopefully it
thing,
won't
like,
improve on it.
should games nowadays have that kind of like big game, like big glitches like that, where you just fall out the world? Like, is it still acceptable as a game?
Bethesda
like-
glitches are common, but that was too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And it breaks the game up as well. If you've got this badass character and then like you just falling through the map, it proper breaks the experience up, I think. But glitches are gonna happen in every game. So
Yeah, but I'm saying like, should it be acceptable in this day and age? If someone releases a game
yeah,
and it's like, oh,
that's
there's
the
a big
thing.
ass
Like,
glitch in it.
I can't remember who was
Is
saying
it
about it the other
acceptable
day.
now?
I was listening to a podcast, probably someone on from Rooster Teeth, and they were saying like back in the day when the Xbox 360 first got announced with a hard drive, they were like, this is the end of gaming, because if a game's broke, they can just patch it. So it's gonna make people a bit more relaxed in perfecting games.
Good night, Meg.
Back. What was that?
Meg's watching.
I was Meg watching. Hi, Meg. But no,
She said she's going to bed, so
Oh, did she? Oh, fair enough. Good night, Meg.
bitch.
Anyway, so anything before like we had this link to the internet that could download patches, your game had to work, because if it didn't work, it was a shit game. Like, you can't just release day one patches all the time now. Unity, Assassin's Creed Unity, you just can't do it. Like, you have to, like, the people back then had to actually make games that worked. That's the day and age we live in. Just leave people.
Because, well, they couldn't
Yeah.
fix it back then, could they? Like,
Well,
they
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You had to make sure it was perfect, and it's like now it's just like, oh, if it doesn't work, we can just patch it. Let's just
Fix
release it. Money, money, money. Ubisoft.
Oh, so stupid. But they have like so much things. They have like, well, betas. Like even Steam now have early access,
Mm.
and like I'm sure that games that being released on Steam and still have bugs, big bugs and such.
Yeah,
Well,
every game's gonna have bugs because it's software. At the end of the day, it's gonna. But I agree with Reaper. Bethesda glitches are like very
Common.
very common. Yeah. So what were we talking about
Well,
before that?
Konami originally. I think.
Konami, and then
We
you
moved
said,
on from
how
there.
could I get this? And then on the topic is also Oculus discussion.
Oh yeah. Should we just go straight onto the Oculus then? Oh, Bethesda should have glitches. It's now known for it That's what makes it fun, but not the game-breaking ones.
Oh.
Assassin's Creed Unity. Yeah, Reaper gets it. Reaper knows. Assassin's Creed Unity, so so fucking broken. You know what? I spent a week trying to love that game, and it didn't. I didn't fall in love with it. And usually when I spend time in a game, I fall in love with it. Speaking of which, we should talk about Majora's Mask. But yeah, let's go on to the Oculus dead quick. Finally got a release date for it next year, 2016, first quarter. I mean, I'm probably gonna get one.
An Oculus Rift.
The only thing that's like, you won't get one. The only thing that's
I haven't
like,
got the money.
there's two things. So basically, I was debating getting a development kit a few days ago because I just finished my second year of university, doing graphic design, and we have to create a portfolio online.
What? Go on.
So yeah, so we have to create an online portfolio. So people are creating websites and stuff. And I was just thinking to myself, like, if you're going to an employer, like, it must just be constantly, here's my website. Okay, it's insert name here, graphic design, Paul Turner graphic design. It's like, it must be so boring for them to see. So I was thinking, how could I integrate what I'm into sort of my work and how to present myself a bit better. And I was thinking about a game that I used to play, Namco Museum. Dan, I've told you about it before. And basically in this game, it was just a collection of old arcade games from Namco. There's 5 volumes of it. Number 5's the best if you're thinking of picking it up. And basically it drops you at the foot of this building. It's a museum. You walk in and there's like a receptionist there, like a little PS1 polygon woman, and she's like, "Hi, welcome to the museum," and like gives you the controls and stuff, and like you're just free to walk around the museum, but like each area is linked to the different games. So there's a Pac-Mania one, which is like the shitty version of Pac-Man, like the 3D one that no one liked. And when you go into like that room of the museum, you go into a Pac-Man maze. So you're like walking around a Pac-Man maze, and there's like ghosts and whatever. And I was thinking, if I go an Oculus and combine that with some sort of 3D space for a portfolio, that'd be a pretty impressive thing to take to an interview. I was thinking just like showing up in like just a suit with the Oculus like briefcase in my hand, and just be like for the interview, and just be like, "Yo, you want to see my portfolio?" Boom! Like a real action flick. Stick these on, bro. Like Oculus, and like giving a keyboard, and like being like, "Wow!" Like looking at all my work on like the walls, but it'd be so funny because like
on like online.
Well, I've been trying to teach myself Unity, like, which is obviously a games development software that's free to use. You can free to download it, and you can build games that work in web browser. It's what the Super Mario 64 demo, the HD one that was pulled after a week. Nintendo, that was made on Unity and then just put on in browser. Like you just type in the URL browser and it takes you there. So I was thinking that, like, all you'd have to do is type the browser in, and then I don't know how you'd integrate the Oculus support with it, but I mean, it'd give it that more like just an extra level of depth. You know what I mean? It separates you from the competition, because needless to say, people who I go to university with they will be my competition when I leave.
Yeah. I think it was just so weird though if you go to like
obviously it won't be so dramatic.
You walk in and you're like, "Here you go, mate. Put this on." And then he's like there, just in his chair, just like watching, and you're just like silent, and you're just like waiting for him to finish. It's like, or you like talking through it as well.
If I was interviewing someone on the cable, and like, "Yeah, do you want to just pop these on? I'll show you my portfolio." I'd be like,
"Nah,
what the fuck?" Like,
I'd be so hyped. I'd be like, "Whoa!" Like, this guy's like crazy. But it'd be so funny. Like you have to walk in with shades on, and like you just walk into the interview with the glasses on, shakes hand. He's like, "Can you take your glasses